All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are going to build a complete open-source stack for real-time voice agents that sound, well, genuinely human. We'll be using a couple of amazing text-to-speech models, Kokoro and VoxCPM, and we're going to stitch it all together with this super powerful LiveKit framework.
So, this whole thing actually started because of a comment. A few of you pointed out that the AI voice I was using sounded kind of soulless. And you know what? You were absolutely right. That one comment sent me right down the rabbit hole to solve this exact problem for good.
And it all boiled down to this one big question. What if you could build a voice agent that's totally private, that responds in real time, and that sounds like an actual person, all without paying a single dime to some cloud service? Well, it turns out you absolutely can. And today, we're going to break down exactly how.
But before we get to the solution, we have to talk about the problem. I mean, why isn't everyone just using those big, popular cloud APIs for their agents? Well, as it turns out, there are some pretty serious drawbacks.
Here are the 4 big deal breakers with cloud services. First, the cost. It's just crippling. You're paying for every single character, and that just explodes as soon as you have more than a few users. Second, the latency. That round trip to an external API is a total conversation killer. Then there's privacy, or more accurately, the complete lack of it. Every single word is being processed on someone else's server. And finally, you get zero control. You can't fine-tune anything, you can't swap models, you are completely locked in.
And just to put a real number on it, running a pretty basic AI deployment on a proprietary service like Agora can easily set you back over $36,000 a year. That's a huge expense, and it just highlights why owning your own stack is such a game changer.
So, if the cloud is the problem, then open source is definitely the answer. I want to introduce you to what I'm calling the open source dream team, 3 components that work together perfectly to solve every single issue we just talked about.
Okay, first up is LiveKit. Think of LiveKit as the central nervous system for our agent. It's an open source framework built on WebRTC, the same tech that powers things like Google Meet. LiveKit manages the entire real-time data flow and handles all the hard stuff like interruptions and scaling for you, right out of the box.
Now, for our first voice model, we've got Kokoro. This is your go-to for speed and efficiency. It's a tiny 82 million parameter model, so lightweight, it runs smoothly on a regular old CPU. That's right, no expensive GPU required. This is absolutely perfect for getting started fast with minimal hardware.
And then, when you want maximum realism, we bring in the heavy hitter, VoxCPM. This thing is an incredibly advanced model that can do true zero-shot voice cloning. What that means is you can give it just a tiny 3 to 10 second clip of someone's voice, and it can replicate it with stunning quality, capturing the unique sound, the accent, and even the emotion.
Okay, so we have our dream team. But how do all these pieces actually work together? Let's take a quick look under the hood at the architecture.
The real secret to LiveKit's speed is its architecture. See, older systems used something called an MCU, which is kind of like a blender. It just mashes all the audio streams together, which is super inefficient. LiveKit uses a much smarter approach called an SFU. Think of the SFU as an intelligent traffic cop. It just forwards individual audio streams directly where they need to go. It's way more flexible, it's scalable, and it keeps latency incredibly low.
The whole system is built on 3 really simple concepts. You've got rooms, which are just the virtual spaces where everyone interacts. You have participants, and these can be both human users and your AI agents. And finally, you have tracks, which are just the individual audio streams from each participant. Simple, right? But incredibly powerful.
And the agent's lifecycle is just beautifully simple. Your agent code registers itself as a worker. When a user joins a room, LiveKit instantly dispatches that agent to them. And get this, it happens in under 150 milliseconds. The agent then does its thing, and when the user leaves, the room closes automatically. It's so clean and super efficient.
Okay, so we've seen the architecture. Now let's bring it all back to solving that original soulless voice problem. This is the really fun part, actually crafting a voice that sounds human.
So, how do you choose between Kokoro and VoxCPM? Well, it really just comes down to picking the right tool for the job. You've got Kokoro on one side, which is all about speed and efficiency. It runs on a CPU, which is just fantastic. And on the other side, you've got VoxCPM. It's all about realism and cloning, but it does need a GPU to power all its advanced features.
And this is where you get some really fine-grained control over that voice quality. With Kokoro, you can actually blend 2 of its built-in voices together, kind of like mixing 2 colors to get a totally new shade. It's an amazing way to create a unique, non-robotic tone. With VoxCMP, the magic is in its context awareness. It actually understands punctuation, so a question mark makes the sentence sound like a real question. And of course, there's that incredible zero-shot cloning to capture any voice you want.
So, when you put this all together, what you get is something much bigger than just a better-sounding voice. What you get is the incredible power of owning your entire stack, from end to end.
And this right here, this is the ultimate payoff. Just look at this breakdown. Kokoro is free, VoxCPM uses open weights, so it's free, LiveKit is open source and free. When you run everything yourself, your total monthly software cost is zero. A pretty big difference from that $36,000 price tag we saw earlier, huh?
But hey, it's not just about saving a ton of money. Owning your stack gives you full privacy with end-to-end encryption. It means there are no artificial usage limits. You scale on your terms. You get total control to fine-tune, customize, and swap out any component you want. And maybe most importantly, there's no vendor lock-in. You have complete and total freedom.
So, if there's one key takeaway, it's this. Use Kokoro when you need speed and you want to run on minimal hardware. And bring in VoxCPM when you need that next-level emotional realism, or when you want to clone a very specific voice for your brand.
Look, this kind of technology is no longer locked away behind expensive APIs. It's open, it's free, and it is incredibly powerful. The tools are literally in your hands now. Which leaves just one final question. Now that you can own your own stack and craft any voice you can possibly imagine, what will you build?